Levon is the kind of guy that you never really know what he's going to do next.
Levon is the kind of guy who won't take no for an answer. He will tell you what he really believes, not what he thinks you want to hear.
Levon's the kind of guy where you can do a handshake deal.
Would give you the shirt off his back, maybe not his last glass of wine.
Living and growing with Levon has been very fun in that every day with Levon is kind of a different day.
How has he grown over the years? He hasn't grown a bit. In fact, I think that Levon has gotten younger. He quit skiing, he started snowboarding, he stopped driving his car to work, he started riding his bicycle to work. So how's Levon grown? Levon's gotten younger.
Learning a little bit about his family and about the success that his father and grandfather had rubbed off on Levon, and I think there's a huge pride in his work, kind of continuing the heritage.
He wants to have you be successful even before he's successful, and I think that makes him a very successful entrepreneur.
Very creative guy. He is a guy that, unlike most structural engineers, is willing to take a risk. Now, he wouldn't do that in designing a job, but somehow he has the ability to do that in his life.
Think of the word rebel, because Levon is kind of a rebel. Back to you never know what he's going to do next.
And he does it with total ethics. He's a very good guy to work with, and that's the way he was 30 years ago, and that's exactly the way he is now.
In 1989, he decided that it was time for him to embark on his own new venture in engineering. When we started the company, he mortgaged his house to make payroll.
You realize when things go badly that you're dealing with a good person when they step up and perform.
He would work long hours and come back the next day and say, hey, I think I got an idea. What do you think? And it was usually a great idea. It was usually an idea that was easier to build, it cost less, it was a better building. And that's what drives the industry forward.
Learning and adjusting to the times, and I've always found it very remarkable how Levon, who has a very young staff of engineers, how, given the gap in age, that he's really always been able to very much relate. Levon gains respect from friends, employees, competitors, because if they didn't respect him, he'd probably let the air out of their tires. But seriously, I think they respect him because he's a very real guy, and he's a very personal guy. He's got a big heart.
It's not just that Levon is competent, he is dead honest. So there's no hidden agendas with Levon.
As you know, he's been a great skier since he was a young kid, and if you look at photos of ski resorts years ago with the old head standard skis, that was Levon as a kid.
He now has his snowboard, which I think is crazy because he's out there with the dudes who are 16 years old on his board. And I don't know if he's hanging out at the half pipe, or I don't know if he's doing tricks, but he is racing.
And he's phenomenally good at it, and it's very inspiring. I think ranked nationally in snowboard racing within the last few years.
That's the characteristic of Levon. You never know whether it's cycling across America or his boarding or, who knows, jumping off a cliff. That's Levon's spirit.
Part of the reason he's respected so much is that he has done good things for his community.
Being born, raised, and living all of his adult life in San Francisco.
Levon's dad, Byron, was a gentleman to the nth degree, and Levon has all of those characteristics of his dad, and I think that's what he gives, is the qualities of being the quintessential gentleman and friend.
He's there to say, how can I help? What can I do? What can I give?
I think Levon brings to life energy and a happiness and an excitement that has a big impact on everyone around him.
You will find Levon when he's not working somewhere outside, whether it's biking, on a motor scooter, skiing, snowboarding, fishing, hunting, horseback riding.
Taking my sports car out of my garage and driving around.
He's probably reading Outside magazine, looking for that next wild adventure.
He is pushing the limit everywhere he can.
Levon is truly a great friend to a lot of people.
I've been enriched by both our relationship within the business as well as outside of it.
It seems at times that no matter what you do, he's still going to be your friend. So It's good to have a few friends like that.
The first time I met Levon was in a dirty old warehouse that we were converting into an office building. This was in 1982, and we crawled all over this building, and Levon demonstrated at that time an extraordinary diligence. We eventually did buy the building and did it, and Levon did the structural engineering. We started with that program, and we ended up doing high-rises together 25, 30 years later.
We were in a meeting for a project, so oftentimes you try to design something that's column-free, where there aren't any columns in the way of where you are, and that generally costs more than having a few extra columns. And going through a big evaluation, the contractors deciding what things would cost, and the clients sorting through what things should cost and what the pros and cons are, and it's all very analytical. And in the middle of all this, Levon chimes in, "I've never met a column that you can't walk around." And it was very funny. and things like that make long-lasting impressions on you.